All right, testing. All right, testing. Sounds good. All right. Wow. Ooh, wow. Man, so many coins have good setups right now, y'all. This is getting ridiculous. Ethereum's starting to look really nice. Maybe it's finally time for this ETH BTC bounce. Oh, excuse me. No, no better dip for Alex this week, I guess. We continue having to ape upwards accumulation. What do you know? Oh. Oh my goodness. Man, bad news. I have two cats that I love for like 5 years, 7 years for one of them, and I'm pretty sure I'm just now figuring out that I'm actually allergic to cats. So, feels bad, man. Feels bad, man. All right. So what's going on, homies? I think we got a pretty good week ahead. Oh my gosh. 2 days until we close the monthly. This might be exactly what we want to see. If we can get above the 8 EMA, I mean, I'm honestly feeling pretty damn golden long term. I mean, you don't get much better than this. I mean, this is like the perfect long-term swing line setup. Oh, it's been a while since I talked about a swing line setup. For those of you that are not familiar, it's pretty basic, honestly. It's just when you have candles and say like a downtrend. It works in an uptrend too. You know, existing trend, existing trend, existing trend. And then you have a candle that basically reverses your existing trend. And that's what we're seeing here. We got the monthly cycle bottom lining up. We got the first uptick in momentum. We got a bullish engulfing candle. We got a close above the 8 EMA. For me, it looks just like it did in 2019. The only thing that looks better is that we don't have all this EMA resistance above us. You know, back then we held the 60 perfectly. We never got below the 200. So if we could also close back above this general region, like 26K, things are really starting to look good. You know, I could really see us doing something like this to get started. Like a push up to here, a retest. That's kind of poorly drawn. Push up to here, a little bit down, a little bounce, little retest, and then a sharp move up towards like 30s, and then maybe top before the summer. That's kind of what I'm thinking. I mean, I would ideally like to see this get to the right fibs. 61.8, 48K. That's crazy. Is that where we stopped? Is that where we stopped the last time? Yep, right at 61.8. I mean, shoot, maybe we're in for more fun than expected. You know? Sheesh. I mean, that would be wild, y'all. Running into May, going all the way to 48K. And the best part is when all this flows down, it hits your shit coins and they go 10x off like $1 million in volume. Whoo! Alright, shit gets me fucking pumped. So, I'll give it like 2 more minutes and then we'll start on the top down on BTC. I mean, things are starting to look very good. Obviously, oh, well, the dollar might bounce. Oh, well, stocks might crumble. Well, in my honest opinion, the dollar looks like it's going to keep getting shit on. And stocks look like they're going to keep pumping. Stocks are back above the monthly 8. The dollar's been trending below the monthly 8. You know, we've only been getting crushed in crypto since the dollar broke back above the monthly 8. Now we're back below it. I think things are fine. Honestly, this structure gives me the same feeling as like 2017. You know, so we might have a long runway until we get down to like mid 90s in the dollar. And then at that point, got to be a little cautious. This is where Bitcoin topped in the summer months in 2017. Then we had a dead cat bounce. And then Bitcoin ripped until January 2018. And then we topped out until really post-COVID. Then we had a good run. Now we've been getting shit on in crypto. And now I think it's looking like we got some more runway for a good run. So we shall see. Definitely want to be keeping your eyes open. All right. Excuse me. Will Bitcoin reach 50K? I mean, I guess that depends on your time frame. I mean, I think it reaches 50K for sure in the future. You know, does it reach 50K this year? I'm not so sure about that. I mean, I could definitely see something like this up towards, 30 to 40, maybe mid 40s. And, if we can get all the way up to like, upper 30s, low 40s, there's no reason we can't get to 50. But I'm not sure we'll go that far this year. I think we'll potentially top around there and then do some bullshit for a while, leading into a really successful Bitcoin halving. Bitcoin halving in 2024. So I think we'll peak sometime in the spring, maybe early summer of this year. I'm not sure how high that'll go, but and then I think we'll have a bit of a cool off period, not unsimilar to after the 2019 bubble. So maybe we top at like 40, 35K. I don't think we're going to have a COVID crash all the way back to these lows. I think this, if we pretend COVID didn't happen, we probably would have had to structure something like this. And that's what I imagine we'll get this year, some kind of retest of where we are now by the end of the year this year. So, yeah, I think we could reach 50K. The bottom's in. Exactly. I mean, think about it, guys. It was not just a couple of things, right? We had COVID back then. We had, gosh, I can't even remember the catalysts from 2018, to be honest. But yeah, we had 3 Arrows Capital blowing up last year. We had the whole Luna crisis. We had like a dairy bit exploit. We had the FTX crash. We got the Ukraine war with Russia and shit. And that is not even half of the stuff we had happen this last year, right? Like, this whole year was full of just hot garbage. Pandemic rocked crypto up. Yeah. After this candle. Were you even around for this, my guy? I mean, you want to know, the pandemic started in like January of 2020. So you want to talk about your pandemic? This is your pandemic. I mean, and then the post-pandemic, obviously there was a really nice recovery, and we all got to make some good money. But you can't just ignore the whole Black Swan event where Bitcoin drops 60% in like 2 weeks. Crypto drops when UK war started, you fool. Well, I'm not here to dispute that. I could not tell you exactly when the Ukraine war started. I mean, it did not mean that much to me, but anyways, let's get on into this here. So from a monthly standpoint, things are looking absolutely fantastic again, if you weren't here for my last commentary. But we've got a perfect engulfing swing line setup on the monthly. We've got potentially a close above the 8 EMA. We'll see if we actually get that in the next couple of days. That would be a close above pretty much 23K. We've got the monthly cycle coming back up, and we've got a bullish uptick in momentum. So we got the holy trifecta forming on the monthly. The last time we had this happen, or the last 2 times, was right in here, and then really the last 3 times was right around here. So we have had very few chances, such as this one, to be spot long crypto. So I'm planning to take extreme advantage of this. Now, I don't think this is going to lead straight to a push to new highs. I think what's more likely is, a push potentially above 25, some sort of retest, complex pullback, reclaim of 25, push up here towards, the 50% fib or the 61.8. If things are not as strong as expecting, maybe we get rejected at the first one here. And we do have a lot of, potential resistance in these wicks over here, right? This 30K floor was extremely strong, at least for a while, right? We held basically all the way from April 2021 to April 2022. So I don't like drawing these huge boxes, but, in reality, this is a huge resistance zone. Like, I'm not going to pretend to have a clue exactly where we would fail up in there, but my best guess would be one of these 2 fibs, the 50% or the 61.8. I'm telling you, listen to Papa, brother. I do not know you. I ain't gonna listen to you. I'm happy to talk to you and answer some questions, but no thank you, sir. When the Ukraine war started, not gonna lie, does not matter to me. I do not care. All right, so we got the trifecta on the monthly. Still 2 days to confirm it, but for now, looking extremely good. Let's outline some weekly levels here. Obviously, the key swing high here. Key swing high here that we already broke. And then this little itty bitty high here that I think everyone wanted to get retested. Give me the 18.5K retest. So on the weekly, we get to see, we also have the first bullish uptick above 0 in momentum since the end of 2021, which was, at 60K BTC. We've got the first higher high setup. No real higher low yet. I mean, you could call this a higher low if you want. On the weekly, it's not really visible. I'd much rather see, whether we top here or we push all the way up here first. I'd like to see a solid higher low somewhere in here to really confirm a good bottoming process. I mean, obviously, we can just V bottom and go all the way up, but I think it's going to be some more straightforward opportunities if we get a pullback like this. Now, until then, we're going to just kind of keep having to ape this upwards accumulation, whatever we're seeing on the daily, but for now, I would still really like some kind of accumulation that lasts longer than a week. But regardless, weekly looks really good. If we can get through the bands here, I'm going to feel a lot more confident. But for now, things are looking really solid. Pretty much the same resistances that we saw on the monthly, right? We got the swing high here. Again, with these lows, it just is really up to you how you want to define the resistance. You could do just, the very bottom of that range, right? You could do the lowest weekly close of that range. You could do the lowest monthly close, whatever. But regardless, this whole 30 to 35K region is a big potential point of resistance. So just play it level to level, right? For now, we're playing bullish until we get to 25K. And then you might want to consider taking profits, being light on your positions. And then if we can get some closes above 25.5, 26K, we can ride that up towards 29K. Same there, closes above there, we can ride it up to the mid-30s. And for now, that's really all that we're doing. Not too much more information to go on the weekly, but we do have a good amount of room left in this cycle to keep running. I could easily see this running into the mid-end of February. We're following here, making sense? All right, let's go into the daily, get a little bit more information. So we are coming in close to pi here on the daily. And for those of you around during 2018, 2019, you remember our first major pit stop on the way up out of the bear market was into this pi line. And then we got really, it doesn't look like much, but the little pullback is really one of the most significant pullbacks, even though it's only 10%, that we got in this whole run up. Obviously, this one, I don't quite count this one as much because this was, I believe, the Bitstamp hack. So, maybe we get a FTX hack. Oh, wait, not anymore. So, we might get some more deeper pullbacks like that. Here's one about 18%. But, this from 5K all the way to 10K, basically. 10% was all you got. So, maybe we get lucky and we get the same thing here off pi. That would screw a lot of people. Right? A lot of people are going to be having their stops somewhere in this general region, right? So many people, right? And their invalidations are going to be there. And, I'll give them this, right? I don't even know if I would really like to see that. Right? I'd really, maybe we run the lows. Okay, that's fine. But I don't really want to get significant closes below this level because then we're potentially talking about a 1 hour, 4 hour downtrend. Those can get pretty nasty. We're going to have to see a pretty significant trend reclaim to really convince me after that. Versus if we just we continue this stupid upwards accumulation, whatever it is, I actually feel a lot better about the overall market, even though we're not getting a, what's it called? A quote, healthy pullback. I mean, the fact that every time we come up here, trap shorts, come back down, and there's an immediate bid when we drop like 3% is a really good sign. So if we just lose that bid and crumble through that, that does not give me much confidence in the market, even though structurally, that's a level I'd like to be a buyer in the 21K region. You know what I'm saying? So, while I would really, I would be a buyer if we got a big dip like that. I would much rather just, if we're going to reject from pi up here around 24, just give me 23K, right? Like, I think that is just as healthy, just like we've been holding this 8 EMA in here and in here. If we pop up and then, flash nuke down here, chop, 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 and then go back up. That's pretty much what happened in 2019. I think we flash nuked again a little bit on the second push up back to this level, and then we pushed. So that's what I'm really looking forward to here, is maybe a flash dump off of 24K back towards this swing high over here. But, regardless, just keep trading on the long side, guys. And keep in mind, this has already been an insane run. Whether we go to 24, whether we go to 25, 26, 30, in my mind, it is all leading up to a disgusting flush, right? I mean, we are building up longs massively. Right now, there's still crazy people going short over and over and over and getting liquidated. So, we still got some fuel in the tank, I think. But sooner or later, some move like this is coming. Exactly what we saw in 2019. Again, albeit this was a big hack, so, is it really going to be this bad again? I don't know. It might not have even gone that low on other exchanges. No, it's still pretty low on Coinbase too. So something like this is coming. And look at this, guys. This was 2 days. A crazy run up from 4K to 8K, and then in 2 days, lose almost a quarter of that. So that's coming. That will screw so many people over. And that is a dip I'm absolutely looking to hit. So I don't think it's going to happen yet. I think we can clobber these highs over here before that happens. So, a lot of altcoins still got some juice in them for this big move up here. And then I think we're going to get crushed. And, maybe we get lucky and we push up. Maybe we don't even fail at pi. We push up, make a higher low, complex pullback or whatever, and then push up again. And then fall off a cliff. I really don't. Well, maybe we don't fall off a cliff at all. I'm just getting that feeling, like, eventually all the people that have been bearish this whole run up, and I'm not going to say I've been the most bullish, but all people that have been bearish that are still choosing here to go super short, and I'm not talking about, the guys that are shorting in a smart manner, the guys that are waiting for this SFP, that are, they're watching for late buyers getting trapped up here, and then they're shorting. I'm talking about people that are just ape shorting because, it's already going up a lot. I don't want to be a buyer. We got to wait for all those guys to be completely crushed and flipping bullish. And I know that that's kind of a hard metric to really calculate. Like, there's no way to really know other than, like, the little bit of on-chain analytics we can get. But that's pretty much what I'm waiting for. I want to see everyone completely bullish before we get some kind of, I don't even know what kind of move to call this, liquidity crisis, flush, nuke, whatever you want to call it. That's basically what I'm waiting for. So just be cautious. If we get a good pop here, I know we're all expecting it to go towards 30K or whatever, but be cautious. I'm being a bit aggressive with any trailing stops I have. Any 4 hour, 1 hour pivots, you can just trail your stops higher, because eventually, like I said, it's going to be a really disgusting move. It's going to wipe out. There's going to be people that have made really good money on this run up, like really, really, really good money, and then just from a move like this, think about it. People make money on this whole move up, and this little move is going to wipe all of that. That's just how it goes sometimes. And even though you're not going all the way back to where it started, people are going to lose all the money they made in the run up in just that little short period of time. And in my opinion, that's coming. I don't know exactly how long it'll be until then, how high we'll go first. But that shit is definitely going to be coming. So looking at the daily again, pi kind of makes me wary above us. So I'm not sure I'd be aping in here. I'd rather be aping into altcoins, honestly, if I'm going to ape into anything. And then for now, just, maybe if you're longing altcoins, you could hedge short Bitcoin, or if you're long Bitcoin, you could hedge short Ethereum. I'm not really sure what the best pairs trade here is, but I've definitely got plenty of altcoins I've been looking at that are looking juicy. So we'll look at those after we get done with Bitcoin. And the Bitcoin, looks fine. You know, I could see now that we've run the highs, you know, last time we ran the highs, we came back to kind of the middle of the range, right? And so I could see that happening again, right? Here's our range. You know, I could see us floating back towards 23K, right? Maybe we get to pi first on the daily. I should have made a little mark. Yeah, so I'm thinking, you know, we could probably do something like this, and then maybe we have a bit of a bigger flush towards 23K, wipe all these late longs that are coming in here, that are going to come in here, and then maybe one for a final push. Or that could have been this, right? This could have been the big bear trap, and now we're just going to do a small little retest of this, and then just absolutely rip out of here. So I'm prepped for either of those. I've got some long-term crypto bags. You know, I got some Amplify, I got some Unification, I got a little bit of escrow GMX, and then, you know, we'll just trade around the perps, whatever looks pretty good. And then, of course, our vested bags. A lot of us got vested bags for the long term too. So, anyways, game plan for BTC, as long as we keep holding this 4-hour uptrend, I mean, I'm going to be pretty happy to be long. Once we start to break 22.5, you got to be kind of cautious, right? Because there's a big potential gap here on the daily too, but even just on the 4-hour, no man's land, it goes all the way down to almost to under 20K, right? That's a pretty significant drop. And keep in mind, guys, that Bitstamp dump I'm talking about in 2019 would look something like this in 2 days. You know, you just got to imagine like having the balls to buy that kind of move, and you don't have to, right? You can wait for the, you know, just like the COVID dump, you can wait, you know, for the reclaim, wait for the slow grind up, you know, wait for, I don't know, some kind of triangle setup or whatever, and then long that. But at the same time, you know, we get some nasty move like that, you got to watch out for this just becoming a nasty downtrend, right? So, anyways, we'll see what happens. You know, if you guys have any questions, comments on BTC, you guys know you can hit me up in the chat anytime. But let's go ahead and look at some altcoins. So let's keep in mind, guys, all of these altcoin long theses really are going to rely on Bitcoin maintaining this uptrend. So below here, pretty much every bullish thesis I'm about to talk about is completely invalidated. So right around 22.5 to 23K, that's our 4-hour trend. Really cautious if we lose that. And in some way, you know, I would be the same amount of cautious. Now that we've run this high, I'd be kind of cautious if we even lost this 1-hour trend. But again, that's really below, you know, like 23K. So as long as we're above there, we're good. And I think there's going to be a lot of altcoins that we really want to be getting involved in. So let's go look at some of these. And don't take this as, because this was a huge mistake for me. Gosh, I don't know. I mean, really every year since I've started trading, I mean, I've experienced this at some point in the year. But you'll have a bag that you've held for a week or a month or maybe multiple months, and it looks solid. You know, you can tell that it's setting up like, let's give an example. Like, oh, it's not lend anymore. What am I doing? Oh, I'm a woo trade. There we go. Let's give an example like Aave from the last bear market. You know, let's say you got something like this going on, right? Where you can clearly tell it's being accumulated. You know, right? Like you're confident this was a big trend change. You know, this pattern of lower highs has been taken out. Now we're in a new pattern of higher lows, right? Things look good. You can tell that this, whether you bottom here or a little lower, this is going to lead to a higher low, and then this will lead to higher highs. You do not want to be puking your bag here for something else that looks like this. You know, right? And again, I'm not hating on anyone. This is a really common mistake. I still make this mistake, right? It's just, you know, it still happens. You don't want to be puking something like this and chasing something that's already had its big move when yours is still setting up for its big move. Right? Where's my... Oh, they moved it down here. Nice. Because then, before you know it, right, you're going to sell your coin for something that's already pumped. your coin's going to go like this. You're going to be, ah, shit, you know, I'll get in the next pullback. It doesn't pull back, and then you start to freak out because you held it for months and months, and you knew this was going to happen, blah, blah, blah. So then you start to, you know, ape the top or whatever, and then what you bought back here has done this, and you're going to sell that for this, and then that thing you just sold is going to do this. Like, that's going to happen over and over and over. And I'm not going to say that, like, every bag is going to do it. You know, there's still going to be bags that just go to shit because, you know, go look at plenty of stuff that was around in 2017, 2018. Not all of it had a crazy 2020, right? Like, some of that stuff just stayed in the shitter. You know, like, Peercoin, right? Like, some of this shit is never going to recover. Actually, I mean, shit. That's not even that bad. Even Peercoin. Even Peercoin went from 10 cents to $5. I mean, really, a 60x? That's crazy. This thing is useless. There's nothing. But still, I don't think it's always going to be like this, where even the garbage of the garbage of the garbage goes up 10x. But hey, look at it now. Even Peercoin's making a comeback right now. But anyways, what was I looking at? I don't remember. But yeah, guys, just don't get stuck chasing and selling something that you know is solid. And it doesn't mean you can't rotate, right? You know, like, sometimes you're just in stuff that you don't think is going to be as good as other stuff. I think it's okay to be a rotator. But don't rotate solely because, you know, you're feeling the FOMO of something else that's already doing this, right? You know, it's okay to get involved in that if you want. But, you know, when something's already going up like this, you got to take smaller size than if you're catching something that looks, you know, like this, right? You know, you're going to have a nice tight stop. And here you're going to have a much wider stop and much higher risk. So anyways, let's go ahead and look at some stuff. You guys can drop recommendations in the chat if you have anything you want to look at. Otherwise, I'm just going to look at the stuff that I think looks good. So let's go down the list here. Aave. Aave looks super solid. Still in a long-term bear market for Aave. We still got to get above like 120-ish to really have a good uptrend in Aave versus, you know, there's some stuff that has already come down in the market that looks kind of like this, right? And it's already starting to break out from these big accumulation bases, right? Oops. Like above these highs. We've already got stuff like, for example, Fantom, right? Fantom is already breaking out above these key highs, so that might be something that, I'm not saying chase, but this is something that's already showing its strength. So you can, one, you can long stuff that looks like it's going to catch up to that, and then two, you can play trend continuation plays on the ones that have already done that. So Aave, I think, looks pretty good. I think I would be happy on Aave to long any dips down to mid 70s. And then as far as trend continuation plays go for this, right, you know, this bullish engulfing looks really good here. So you could take, you know, one of two setups, right? Something like this, stop below this daily candle setup, and then you'd be targeting somewhere in this range. You know, you could target the absolute high from over here, right, which would give you a nice 5.5 risk reward. You could target the lower end of the range, which only gives you maybe about 2. You know, how I would play is take some profits on the lower end, take some profits in the middle, and take some profits at the top. And if you're nervous about having too tight of a stop, right, you can do the split stop, which I talked about on last stream. Right, your tighter stop would be below the candle setup, and your looser stop would be below your trend higher lows, which right is in here. And then again, I mean, same targets. Obviously, if you're taking the looser stop, I would look for a wider take profit. You know, on this one, you're already going to be hitting 2R, so I think it's okay to take some profits there. And then for the other half, you know, you can hold for a little bit higher. And then once we push above 120, you know, we can really talk about like a monthly setup, just like we're getting on BTC. We're really close. A lot of these altcoins you're seeing are going to be coming down or coming up and retesting the underside of this 8 EMA. And getting back above that is really good. Really good sign for the long term. But, you know, getting above it is not the only thing that matters. Just like for BTC, I would like to see it get above it and then stay above it and continue to trend above it, right? Because the biggest free money trades, at least in my opinion, are going to be when we're trending above the monthly 8 and the monthly 8 is rising. You know, this is nice that we're going to be getting back above it, but it's still flat, has not built momentum, right? These are when the biggest money trades are going to happen. And so for now, we might be on the cusp of that, and I know there's a lot of good trades going on right now, but we're talking like bull market craziness. You know, we're not quite there. The setups I really want to see are not quite there yet. Okay. We don't have any Wu trade. Yeah, like Wu trade's a great example. You know, once Wu trade has been trending above this monthly 8 EMA for a while, and that started to come up or whatever, and we're holding 20 cents, 25 cents, 30 cents, I'll be a lot more happy to get involved. But anyways, what we're talking about, Aave. So yeah, Aave looks pretty good, right? Coming up on the other side of the 8 EMA. Really would like to see closes above 100 to 120 for higher confidence. How do I feel about Fantom ecosystem? Well, I'd like to say I knew more about what was going on Fantom. I mean, I played around on Fantom a fair bit in like 2020 and 2021. I know there was, isn't Fantom where there was like Spooky Swap and Tomb and all that stuff? I think that's where it was. So as far as a fundamental standpoint goes, I don't really have much comment on it. I will say the chart looks really good. It looks just like Bitcoin does right now. You've got a bullish reversal and momentum. You've got a bullish reversal on your slow stochastic. You've got a bullish candle setup. You're about to be trending above the 8 EMA. Things look really good. I would definitely be happy to, 1, be long here, and 2, be long on any dips. So if we get a retest of this general region here, that's going to be where you want to buy the dip. Ideally, this weekly 8 EMA will come up and meet you there. And then if you start to close back in the range, you know, below like 35 cents, I would be looking to cut it. Okay. And then your target would honestly be, I mean, that's another really nice thing about Fantom. You've got this little wick right here. That's where we bounced, you know, pretty dramatically from 20 cents all the way up to 50 cents back when we first tried to find a bottom. You know, next target above there, let's say you buy this dip, you know, and then, oh, come on, I hate when it does this. Let's say you buy the dip, and then your stop is, I don't know, a daily or a 4-hour close below 35 cents. Your only real target after this is all the way up here. Right, giving you almost a 10 times your risk reward. I mean, that's pretty damn good right there. And it's just like Bitcoin and, you know, 40K or whatever. Are we going to go all the way there? Not necessarily. But if we do, you know, there's a great opportunity there to double your money. I haven't looked at Mummy Swap yet. I'm guessing that is something I can look at on Dex Screener. Is it not something I can chart? Here we go. This is it, right? I got a feeling this is about to look hot. Ooh. This looks nice, dude. I mean, for me, this is not something I can really ape. It's just, I don't know. I'm never good at aping things that have already pushed up. But this looks really solid. I mean, you broke out to new all-time highs. You got a nasty Darth Maul up to 450 and then back down to 250. So, personally, I think it's just going to chop in here for a while. That tends to be what happens when you get these Darth Mauls. You tend to chop. And a lot of the times when you form the range, after a Darth Maul, you tend to run the highs and the lows. So I would not be surprised to see both of those things happen. But, you know, I would definitely be happy to be long here. You know, just keep trailing out your stops, right? If you get a daily close below your last key higher low pivot, cut it. You know, if you make a new high here, you come up here, make another high, raise your stop, you know, over and over and over until this thing breaks down. You like the project? I don't know if you're talking about Fantom or Mummy Swap, but, you know, always good to take fundamentals into account. I mean, $4 million market cap, that's pretty cheap. I imagine this is trying to be like the Uniswap of Fantom, the sushi swap of Fantom, or whatever it is. So that's pretty nice. Is Spooky Swap still around? Boo, that was the one. Yeah. It's got a lot better liquidity, I'll say. 10 million versus 1 million. Market cap is a fair bit higher too, though. Oh my gosh, what a strong uptrend. This thing's already gone from $1 to $2 in the last week. I will say the bonus of Mummy Swap is that you don't have a bunch of bag holders from the previous bull market. Ooh. Damn. Whoa, dude, this shit really hit 40 bucks? I barely even remember that. Holy crap. That's crazy. Maybe this is in for a sick pump. I don't know if this is still a valid exchange to be using, if this is still a safe, solid exchange, but this chart looks apeable. The flip side is Mummy will probably pump harder because there's no previous bag holders, so it's just kind of like, you know, it's just air above here versus you've got all these potential sellers and farmers and shit that might sell this. But that looks pretty good too. So yeah, I would say Fantom is definitely up there on my favorite coins to be long, up there with like MATIC. But unfortunately, not really an entry for me right now. I'm not sure I really want to buy this new high into the weekly bands, into like, we already got through daily pylon. So the only real opportunity right now, if you're looking for one on this, is this BCI setup on the daily. So, you know, you could take a setup like this if we close, and then stop out if we close below the low here. But I don't know. I think it's kind of high risk. I think there's a pretty good chance that we could do a little bit of a complex. I know I keep saying that. Complex pullback is just something like this, right? I think there's a decent chance that we could do something like that up here. So, you know, you just have to be a little bit cautious if you're taking these BCI setups. They don't always work, but sometimes they work. Like, here's a good BCI setup right here. Here's another good one right here. And, you know, maybe this will be another good one here. So that is an actionable setup. You know, you come in on the 4 hour. You know, you can do the same thing. You can buy. We know our risk is back to this BCI setup on the daily. Maybe we give it a little bit more room because of the 4 hour trend. I don't know. It doesn't really matter that much. But you can see sometimes you're going to get that deeper pullback all the way to the 60 on the 4 hour. And then you just come in on like the 1 hour and you try and long any dips that you get, or the 15-minute. You know, you try and long any dips and your risk is back below here. So I think that's definitely actionable if you want to come in, maybe look for bids, you know, mid 40s, right? Low 40s if you get it. I'm not sure if you'll get that again, but mid 40s should be a pretty good bet. I think that's a pretty good trade. So yeah, anyways, enough about Fantom. Let's go look let's go down the line here, see what else we got. Cardano, I mean, Cardano looks fine. It's just not something I'm really interested in. Algorand also looks fine. Nothing that interesting. Alpha looks pretty good. I bet that's got some good consolidation. Ooh, 2 nasty fails at Pi, though. I don't know. Maybe worth a short hedge. Looks decent on the 4 hour. I don't know if there's really anything I want to short right now, but if there is, this might be it. I mean, that looks pretty. But anyways, I'm not looking to be short, so let's keep going. Ape looks okay. I'd say that still looks pretty good. APT, you see I've got a lot of alerts on this one. Still looks okay. I just don't know where I'd put the stop here other than like all the way down here. And at that point, you know, it could just be a bullish retest of this BCI of our 4 hour support. So it's kind of, I'd really rather we get a sweep and reclaim on something like this. At least then I can have some, you know, pretty good risk reward, even just back to the highs here. That's really more ideal of a setup on APTOS. And honestly, guys, if APTOS is still really strong, it's not going to give me that. It's just going to form a higher low somewhere in here and then just rip straight up out of this range like it did last time. But yeah, APTOS, I mean, it still looks good. Still looks like it's in a good uptrend. Let's go see what else we got. So, not the top of my list, but definitely will be on pullbacks. Adam looks pretty solid. Again, it's just more of this upwards accumulation. I just get a bit nervous because some of this stuff is starting to look kind of rising wedgy. But, you know, maybe it'll just do what Bitcoin did, right? Bitcoin has that same structure, and it's just kind of popping right through it. I guess it depends all on where you think that structure really is, you know, because we could technically still be bound by this. But anyways, I would say Atom's relatively high on the list. Anything that's already above pi on the daily is looking pretty good. AVAX actually looks really good because this is not above pi yet, so we can still play swings up towards pi, but it looks really good on the daily. And this is literally exactly what I'm talking about with, oh, it's forming a rising wedge, time to go short, and then it just rips through it and does not care. Bitcoin did this all the time back in 2017, and it really baited a lot of people that just could not get over their obsession with, we're in a downtrend, I have to be short, right? When sometimes, you know, it's okay to be short, but like in these times where I know it ends up being the top, but things do start to look like they could be bullish. You know, this could obviously just be a big top here, but it starts to look like it could be bullish. You don't have to just be ape short, right? You can come in and ape short on stuff like this, you know, stuff like this, right? You don't have to be ape short on the only chances to get out of the downtrend, right? So I would be pretty cautious going crazy short into stuff that looks like this, because it could just as easily rip up, you know. So I'll say AVAX definitely is one of my favorites right now, right? If we can get a little bit more of a pullback towards like 18, 19, retest this the upper end of this range, then I like AVAX a lot. And I also like stuff that looks like AVAX looked in here. And there is a boatload of stuff, my friends. You know, the ones that I like the most right now are Optimism. Looks very similar. Solana. Oh, well, never mind. Solana already kind of broke out towards there. Sushi Swap. I think Sushi Swap looks kind of similar. Harmony, I think, is already breaking out. Yeah. Near looks pretty similar to AVAX pumped. MATIC, again. MATIC's basically where AVAX is. I really would like a dump back to 4-hour support to really get involved, retest this upper end of this range. Will we get it? I don't know. It depends on how strong MATIC is, but I would really, really like to buy that dip. I think MATIC is looking really solid. And I'm sure there was some fundamental stuff. What happened with MATIC? Oh, it was the Amazon thing, right? Wasn't there a big like talks about Amazon or not Amazon, sorry, MATIC or AVAX being like the key layer 1 or something of Amazon's new NFT shit or whatever. And anyways, but if that hype continues, MATIC is gonna do stupid numbers. So definitely something I want to be involved in. And the daily chart just looks really solid here, right? I can't speak. We have long since been above pi, right? We've spent almost the entire month of January above pi. We are in the northern hemisphere of the chart versus, you know, most coins, while they still look good, are still in this southern hemisphere where they're trending below a descending 200 period moving average and pi, which is a 314 period moving average. Versus we would like to be buying dips like nothing wrong with buying these dips, right? Buying these dips. But ideally, there's going to be a lot higher confidence when we're already trending above pi and the 200. I mean, just look at when the greatest moves come. The greatest moves come when we're trending above pi and the 200, right? And then when we get back below it, things start to look shitty. And then when we're just floating around it, there's a lot of uncertainty, right? I can't speak. Oh my goodness. We really want to start to expand away from this and get a serious trend started, because we could still just be range trading in here. For all we know, we just continue to range trade the rest of the year on stuff like this, which is not bad. I mean, there's plenty of good swings from this range low to range high, but you know, most people in this are definitely looking for an inevitable push towards the all-time high, whether it's later this year or next year, whatever. But anyways, yeah, definitely looking for a dip on this one back towards like the lower end of the dollar range. But yeah, that's one of my favorites. Let's see what else we got here. GMT looks pretty good. Again, has been in a nice uptrend, has not tested pi yet. So, you know, you can get a good setup going on here. Something like this. You know, we had a little BCI setup here. Stop on a close below there. Targeting pi. 4 times your risk reward, and then cut if your daily trend doesn't hold. And really, if you want to be more cutthroat, there's a tighter setup on the 4-hour, like this, even potentially like this. Although I would say it's safer to keep your stop below the 60 EMA because sometimes we go deep. And then targeting pi on the daily, you're looking at almost 10 times your risk reward. Super solid setup. Let's go look at another one of my favorites, Optimism. Is that daily pi line? I guess, what am I talking about? Optimism is making new highs. So, first push to all-time highs. What am I looking for? I'm looking for a test of the 1.618 fib. Right, that's the big key level for me. We used to do this all the time in 2017, 2018. Just do a fib of your long consolidation range and target the 1.618. Really simple strategy, nothing much to it. Let's outline that. And then come in on the 4-hour. I think there's a good setup, something like this. And since we've already retested the 60, we can just slide our stop right below here. Look at that. 5.5 risk reward. Pretty damn good. Oh, was it Starbucks? Was it Starbucks? Really? I could have sworn it was Amazon. But, anyways, a lot of fundamental news going on with MATIC and AVAX now. Take on Metis. Ooh, I used to really like Metis. And it's funny, though. I did say... Damn, it's pumping. We just talked about this last stream, too. Shit. Oh my gosh, dude. We were just talking about this last week and it was in the 20s. My goodness, that's kind of a missed opportunity. But I was saying during the last bull market that I don't know if there's a really long, longevity to this project. I don't know if it has the competitiveness of the other layers, but I mean, shit, $15 to $40 looking pretty darn good. Once we get above 50 is really when the fireworks are going to begin for something like this, though. Right, so you can keep playing it level to level, and I'll be real, I don't know what ASTER is. I'm assuming that's something to do with Metis. We'll look it up in a second here, though. We can also look it up on CoinGecko real quick. ASTER 160 on CoinMarket, $200 million market cap. Holy shit! Oh, nice. I mean, this has the same kind of consolidation that we're seeing here. Is this on TradingView? Oh, nice. Cool. I think this looks really good. I think this looks very much like Fantom looks right now, breaking this key range high. I think this looks really solid. I would say as long as you're still trending, it depends on how you're feeling about this. Big picture, I think as long as you're trending above like 4 cents down here, the lower end of these sets of higher lows, as long as you're trending down here, it looks good. As far as more of an intermediate term trade, you definitely want to see this stay above like 5-1-ish. Right? As long as you're staying above there, I think on a dip towards there, you have really nice risk reward. On a push towards like, I guess 10 cents is your next big target, right? Or 8.9. Right? Whatever this cluster of lower highs is over here. And that's about 10 times your risk on a setup like that. So I think this looks really solid, dude. I'm loving this kind of rounded bottom here. I mean, you accumulated in 3 to 4 cents for basically all of 2022. And you came from 30 cents. So I think there's still plenty of juice left in this one. Maybe be a little cautious if we come up towards like 6.5. Because that is what's happened already twice. You've had a big wick and retraced. Big wick, retrace. You might do the same thing. Big wick up into pi and retrace. And if you're playing a tight stop like this, you could wick up and have your stop hit and still be a valid uptrend, right? You just gotta be careful with that. So if you take a tight setup like this one in here, just make sure you TP the new high and then, hold half or 2/3 or whatever for a bigger push up to here. Right, and the same pretty much goes with Metis. If you're already long and you're already playing this, you can see we broke out, we retested this level here, and we're pushing towards this one. If you're already long for that push, I would consider taking some profits at these other kind of more minor key levels, right? And then save, half or 2/3 or whatever up here, take some more profits. Maybe you get a retest down here. And then you save some, you know, even if you TP up here, maybe save a quarter or a third in case it starts to push at back towards 100 or something, you know. And I'll be real, you know, I've not paid attention to the fundamentals of Metis in, you know, 8 to 10 months. So I don't really know what's going on in this ecosystem, if they're making a lot of fundamental progress, if they've got a lot of users and developers and stuff like that. I really just don't know. But as far as the chart goes, I mean, this looks solid. You got some good volume coming in here. You know, a couple $1 million a day in volume is really nice. Looking on the 4 hour, I think you'd like to see a retest of like low 30s, right? And then your risk is a break below 30. I don't have my EMAs on here, but that's going to be most likely where your EMA support would be. I guess we can just throw the 60 on here. That's the lower end EMA support. Yep, pretty much exactly where I'm thinking. So anything below like 28.30, probably want to cut it for Metis, because then, you know, this nice little uptrend that we're in right now is going to get butchered. It's kind of hard to see with these drawing tools, but right, these are our key higher lows, okay? If we can't hold the last swing low, you know, you're talking about potentially a new downtrend, right? And then at that point, you just got to be more cautious. Versus right now, we have a super simple clean uptrend. Okay, we don't want to see something like this. So I would say this looks really solid. If you're already in, you know, hold on strong. I think you're going to have a move back towards these highs over here. And for ASTER, I think you're going to have a move towards these highs. I would just be a little bit cautious of pi here for ASTER. And then a little bit cautious of the high that we're at right now on Metis, which is like 38. Okay, so maybe be a little bit on the TP side here as we're starting to get out of the weekend. All right, let's go see what else we can find on my little chart here. Oh yeah, Optimism was good. Near looks good. MATIC looks really good. AVAX looks good. Lido looks decent. Ugh. I don't like that weekly though on Lido. That's pretty gross. Maybe it's a big fake out, but maybe not. This is back below the 8 EMA on the daily. I really don't like that. That kind of shows that we're losing 4-hour trend a bit. I mean, there are not many coins right now that look like, that have this kind of EMA structure. Most of them have like this EMA structure, which is a lot healthier. Because right in here, you're nearing the point of the breakdown. Once we start to expand a little bit, feel a little bit more confident. But, you know, at the same time, this could be the point to hit on Lido, right? You know, something like this. Stop back below the last higher low before we made a higher high over here. A little bit looser. And then your target would be up at like, what is that, 310-ish? Right? Pretty nice trade right there. So I think something like that is valid. I just don't really like that we're trending below the 8 EMA. Where is that at? 230-ish, 235. So I'd say if you can start to break out from this structure here. Let's outline that again. It's like right in here. You know, maybe you come in on the 1 hour or the 30-minute. Okay, too much drawing. Maybe you come in on the 1 hour, 30-minute, and if you start to get traction above, like the daily 8 EMA, which is bearish right now, is right in here. So if you can break out of this little downtrend consolidation that it's in and start a new uptrend, I think you can start to be long Lido again. Looking for the low $3 range. Stop below like 215. I think it looks really solid. Definitely one I'm keeping my eye on. Not my favorite structure-wise right now, but Lido's done this before, right? We've broken 4-hour trend and then immediately reclaimed it. So I would not be that surprised to see that happen again. Frax looks pretty good. But you just got a lot of stuff that looks like easy easy money setups. Doge looks okay. Maybe this one's just lagging, but it looks all right. Curve looks pretty solid. It looks kind of like Optimism. BNB looks solid. Looks all right. Balancer looks good. Axies looks good. Ooh. What is this key level? Oh, yes. The highest from 2021. Well, it's crazy to me, dude. I can't believe Axies really went from 10 cents to $200. Holy crap. Axie's actually looks pretty solid here. Yeah, this is a pretty nice setup. Let's see where the next resistance is. Ooh, Pi is really far up here. Looking at a 4 to 5 risk reward. That's pretty damn good. All right, nice level at your 4-hour risk here. Pretty good. I think Axies is going to go in the next couple of days. I guess it'll depend on how stocks and all that stuff opens up tomorrow, or maybe it won't. Maybe crypto is finally decorrelated for a little bit. Yeah. Actually, it looks pretty good. Ape, we already kind of looked at Ape. Right in front of Pi, I don't really like aping right in front of Pi, but does look like a pretty strong trend. Alpha, same thing. Strong trend, but I don't like that we're right in front of Pi. It looks kind of sketchy. ALGO's got that rising wedge thing going on, but regardless of that, we do still have a strong trend, so, you know, I wouldn't necessarily be fading that yet. Woo trade, Woo trade also kind of like Lido, not looking that good, trending below the daily 8 EMA. So I would say, but we do have the cycle about to come back up. Momentum not reversed yet. I'd say if you close Woo trade above 20 cents and you get an uptick in momentum, it's a like stupid long, like a good stupid long. Nice tight stop below the daily candle, and then targeting, I guess up here like 27ish. Pretty good risk reward, and it's Woo trade. I mean, absolutely solid project. So yeah, I guess that's about all I really had to talk about here. I'm not sure if you guys have anything else you want me to look at, but pretty much covered everything that interests me right now. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I mean, yeah, like I said, I still hold a bag of Unification, which actually looks really good. I didn't realize it broke out. Wow, nice. So accumulated this from like 22 to like 30 back in, I mean, it's not even on this chart, back in like August, and took some profits here after we reclaimed this dump here. I just wasn't sure if this was going to be like a big trend change. You know, we're going to make a lower high and dump. So I took some profits there, but I'm still holding a pretty big position in this one. I think this one's got some legs. Right, there's clearly some interest in here. If we, you know, do something like this and push back up, I'll definitely consider taking some more profits. Maybe cut another half my position. But I think this one's really undervalued. You know, this is like the kind of the backbone of this whole Shibarium thing going on right now. And it's only $8 million market cap, right? So I feel like you could easily see this at something like $50 million, right? Especially since it only takes a small amount of money to pump this up. Once people have made their hundreds of millions on Bitcoin and stuff, that money is starting to flow down. So that still looks good. I do like Gear. This is another project I think looks pretty good. Kind of shite the last like few days, but that's good because I saw a lot of people FOMOing in up here, and a lot of times that's me. A lot of times, I mean, I catch myself doing that. But now we've retraced back to key support level, taking in this trend line out, of course, because anything that doesn't fit our bias. Oh, wait. I didn't see the wick. Get the wicks. Oh, look at that. Perfectly fit our bias. Amazing. So that looks pretty good. $12 million market cap, 140 fully diluted. That's kind of gross for the liquidity that it offers, but I think the structure looks pretty good on this one. Let's check out XCal. My guess is that still looks shit because the project's kind of shit. But eventually, even the shit will get some money flowing into it, I'm sure. Not my favorite. Definitely not going to add the XCal. Grail. I bet Grail looks a lot better since they actually were able to get their flywheel going a little bit. Oh my gosh, heck yeah. There you go. Well, unfortunately, a little late to the party. Not something I'm going to be buying, even though it can probably go a lot higher than $30 million market cap. But, yeah, I mean, obviously, this looks extremely good. Congrats to anyone that got on board this. Clearly a lot of hype on Arbitrum right now. Let's look at Hamachi. Ooh, that looks good, too. New highs coming soon for Hamachi. Only $6 million market cap. Not too shabby. Looks like Arbitrum's got a lot of hype behind it right now. What about Jones? Damn, Jones is popping off too? Sheesh. I might have missed my window of opportunity on some of these Arbitrum plays. That was such a beautiful retest too. Like, absolutely perfect. Probably missed my RDPX bid too. I don't know why I can't type on the chart for some reason. Yeah. It's like I'm just getting a little bit far away from the level I want to buy. Just far enough to not buy. Actually, this still looks okay. Maybe I could get it on some RDPX today. How does Dopex look? Like, I feel like RDPX is just going to gun it for 100. I guess it's the same with Dopex. Probably right around that same local high. Almost looks even better. Ugh, I hate when it does this. Something like this on Dopex. Stop out if we break like 250. Targeting, I mean, you could target the range high, but honestly, I'd be targeting a lot higher than that. I think this one's going to go absolutely ballistic. I think this is going to push towards like $500 million market cap. The Dopex ecosystem is just so strong, and they recently added in something. What was it? They just added something that really solves a big problem in regular options, and it's kind of like a crypto first. So I think they've got a lot of good stuff coming on the development side. I would say Dopex is definitely one of my favorite projects. But my only real, let me double check this to make sure this is accurate. My only real Arbitrum exposure right now is really just my escrow to GMX. I mean, I've still got some XCal, but you know, XCal looks absolutely terrible. Like, I'm not really expecting much from that. So it's really just my escrow GMX bag, and I will say GMX. Ooh, got above 60. Let's go. GMX does look very good. I mean, I've been talking about this the last few weeks, but when this finally breaks its range, and it's looking like it's trying to do that right now, when it finally breaks this range, this thing's going to go ballistic. Like, I could easily see this at several $100s. So, I absolutely want to be buying this on dips. You know, if you push up to like 80 here, right, something like this, and you get a dip back towards this all-time high of 60, smash the green button. Simple as that. This thing is going to go batshit, I think. All right, that might be truly the last thing that I cared to look at was GMX. Yeah, I think so. All right, so if you guys have any questions about any of this stuff, you know, any comments, concerns, any recommendations for next time, all that good stuff, feel free to hit me up in the chat. You know, you guys can find me there pretty much 24 hours a day. And I will try to have the video out one day this week. You know, maybe tomorrow. If we get a lot of stuff happening tonight and tomorrow morning, then I'll do a video tomorrow. If not, probably expect that on like Tuesday, Wednesday. Just depends on how things shape up in the market. Yeah, I'll try to make a video update then. And I'm thinking about maybe starting streaming twice a week. Maybe like Wednesdays or Thursdays or something. I'm not sure. You know, for most of the bear market, it just really did not really pay off to stream here and then stream here. You know, nothing has happened. We're in the same levels. But now that we're finally getting some serious uptrends going, I think it's going to pay off to maybe stream a couple times a week. So definitely looking to start that. I'll hit you guys up on like Wednesday, Thursday, see if there's any interest in the chat around that time. And then maybe we'll do something like that. But regardless, I'll definitely be in the chat all week, of course. And you can catch me next Sunday around the same time, 3 p.m. Eastern time for live stream. But anyways, I appreciate you guys. I hope you enjoyed the stream, found it educational. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.